What you doing, you other magical nerds? I am the AC, and I'm here with another Let's Talk About the Magicians with episode 6 of season 5. Oops, I did it again. Oh man, I love this episode. Even though it was part of a 2-episode night and I watched them separately, I really like this episode just as a separate thing. And now I kind of wish they wouldn't have done it at the same time, even though I can see why they did 2 episodes in one night. And it doesn't really matter to me because I couldn't watch it when it aired anyways. But let's talk about it. Man, the thing I like the most about this episode is, yeah, I like a lot of the other characters, and I like seeing what all the other characters are doing all the time. But it's nice that this episode focuses solely on Elliot. It doesn't branch off onto other characters. It's mainly just focused on what Elliot's going through. It's just from one character perspective, one character focus, and it's nice because there's no distraction from what's happening. It just keeps going, and you don't have to take a break, especially with how crazy, how emotional Elliot starts to feel. But let's actually talk about what's happening in this episode. So, as it left off in last episode, the moon split because Elliot and Marina were fighting over it. And now it's for some reason still up to the main group to try to fix it. But unlike all the other times, the whole world actually is aware of the whole world actually ending. And the world's going crazy, of course. They don't know about magic. All they know is moon split in half and pieces are about to hit it in 12 hours. But what I'm wondering is, where are all the other magicians? Like, our group of magicians, they aren't even master magicians. There's a whole bunch of other magicians out there who could also be helping work on stopping the end of the world now that everyone knows about it. And I don't know what they're doing, and they never show them. It's just our group. But their first plan is to get all the hedge witches, as many other magicians as they can, to do some cooperative magic and try to use that to try to stop it. It fails, the world ends, whatever. But then Elliot and Margot wake back up and realize they're in a time loop. They don't know why. They try to tell everyone they're in time loop. Then they try a bunch of other plans, which involves stuff like Penny going to the moon, but even though he can't travel, and he ends up destroying himself. And they try a bunch of other plans, don't work. Eventually, Penny 23 tells them about Stoppard. They go to him. He's like, "Oh, you have some kind of something messing with you," and it turns out it's because Margot and Elliot sprayed themselves with Jane's perfume. That's keeping them in this time loop. But even though Stoppard says he can send it back a couple days to try to fix what happened, apparently time magic isn't working or is being blocked. And also, they try to go back to Philly to see Jane, and the portal isn't working. So they have no idea what to really do. So their next solution is to party and hope they stumble upon the answer. And they party hard. They party a whole lot. Stuff happens. Todd gets involved a little bit with Margot. Now that's a thing Margot eventually wants to forget. And then Margot actually does figure it out. She talks to some oceanographer. Elliot's starting to become too messed up and too unreliable to help, so she leaves him, does it on herself. We don't see what she actually does, but the time loop resets again and she's forgotten. And that leaves Elliot all by himself to try to figure out what is going on. Now Elliot, he's not doing so great. And I love Elliot, but he's hearing voices, he's seeing things being painted in red, saying that he's trapped or something's still in there, they want out. He's seeing this door, a wooden plank door with a heart on it, and he's going crazy, and he's so scared that the monster's still in him that it wants to be let out, and he's just losing his mind. You can see just how much of an impact it's having on him. He's drinking a lot more. Then he has a little heart-to-heart with Josh, And Josh's suggestion ends up being, why don't you just let him out? And it's like, yeah, why not? You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to die. The world's ending anyways. Probably going to die, whatever. But, you know, time loop resets again. Elliot's like, fuck it. He lets it out. And out comes Charlton. Now, this isn't actually surprising. This is what I figured was going to happen. Because you see it in the season trailer that Charlton shows up. So that kind of ruined the suspense. And it was kind of dumb. And they try to play it off as something funny or humorous, that Charlton was using red paint because it was like strawberries, blah, blah, and the whispering was to be polite or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I guess. They was trying to be misleading, but it didn't really work because they already revealed that Charlton was going to come back in some way. So then Charlton's there, kind of has moral support. He also kind of confirms that all the bad stuff inside Elliot got taken away. And he was only able to stay in Elliot because he was in his happy place. But Charlton being there actually starts helping Elliot. Elliot goes and remembers what Margot did. So he goes to the ocean, finds a shack with a TV and some whales. Yeah, apparently whales are magical. And if you saw the third book, it's not exactly like the same role whales play in the book, but whales are still involved, so that's nice. Anyways, whales are magicians. They guard or use time loops because they're trying to prevent this big kraken from escaping. And every time the kraken escapes, the time loop resets 12 hours. So that means that the whole reason Elliot keeps going back to time loop is because the kraken escaping, because the moon hits it, is resetting the time loop. And eventually Elliot has to go and tell the whales, look, we have to reset the time loop and let the kraken out early before the moon splits. That's the only way we can prevent the kraken from being released, is if we release it early. Reset the time loop. Do this all over again. And it works. He convinces them, even though for some reason a random guy pops up out of the water before the kraken. Don't know what that was about. I guess also another humorous gotcha for a second kind of thing. I don't know, maybe that guy's someone special and he pops up later. That would be interesting, but I don't know. Kraken tentacles pop up and it resets to right before they're about to go in to steal the moon rock. And it's, yay, everything's safe. And I was wondering, it's like, man, I hope they don't do something else that messes up this mission, that causes the harmonic convergence to still happen, and then it causes a whole nother mess. But no, they didn't. They actually did smart. Elliot pretty much, I assume what he told Margot was like, hey, whenever all the guards pass out, that's Marina, go punch her in the face, and then we'll take care of it there. Because that's kind of what happens. And, you know, world save. Harmonic convergence is over. The moon did not get split in half. The earth is saved. Everyone's partying. Margot and Elliot finally get to have their heart-to-heart, and it's really nice. And then Elliot brings up Margot's time with Todd. She doesn't believe that happened, blah, blah, blah. Then there's a knock at the door. It's Todd. Surprise. Todd's back. Fucking Todd, I know. And, like, as much as you hate on Todd, you kind of have to start liking him a little bit just because of how much shit he gets. But that's not even the worst part. Apparently, Pigjamin Franklin, as I call him, because I think that's a funnier name, whatever. Apparently he went to Todd, and as much as Julia hates it, it's kind of, you know, you get to see how the sexist pig would go to, you know, a white male to be the hero. But Todd tells Julia it was actually filler that needs to be saved, not Earth. Even though, yeah, Earth still needed to be saved anyways. But, yeah, no, it's actually filler that's in trouble, which also correlates with the third book. But that's pretty much what happens in this episode. I really, really enjoyed it. I really like it just focusing on one character. I kind of wish more episodes would do this later. Like just a perspective of one storyline, and maybe a next episode would be just another storyline. Because now that I got a taste of it, I kind of like this more than one episode being about different things happening. You know, it really draws in the intensity and the feeling, because every time it switches to something else happening, it kind of pushes it back. But I don't know, what do you think? Did you watch the episode? Hopefully you're not as far behind as I am, or maybe you're just following along like I am. Who knows? Anyways, if you like what I said, like the video. If you want to see me talk more about magicians, because I'm nearly caught up, and then I'll go back to my weekly videos of these, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Look for what I got to say, because oh man, I love the magicians. I love it so much. But till then, I'm DAC. Thank you for watching, and bye.